Table 9, Malcolm Stott, Glenn Carter. Table 9, Malcolm Stott, Glenn Carter.
All right, folks, I thought I'd just jump back in before we start our quarterfinals because we have a John Barton and Tyron King playing in a last 16 match, and I think these guys deserve a little bit of commentary. For those who don't know JB, he has been around since the war. Very nice bloke. Does the Calcutta, does anything for anybody, and a great ambassador for the sport. And did give me a very good rugby union tip last night that made me nearly 300, so good on you, JB. And Tyron King, sorry for the Tyron King fans out there, but I actually don't know the young fella. But he's made the last 16, so the kid can obviously play. He's twice as good as me because I only made the 32. And probably not his finest moment, that shot. But he was in a tough spot. And what I do like about it is this out, you just think, oh yeah, this is really easy. You got ball over the hole, ball over the hole. But the transition to black, not fun. And I don't think we'll see JB take this on. I think he'll be the wily old self that he is and just promote this over the pocket. He will have summed it up and known that this is a tricky situation. And there you go. Probably didn't play it as well as what he would have liked, but wanted to make sure that he didn't leave balls available top right hand of the corner. So Tyron, he's in a tough spot here. I mean, he's got more soldiers on the battlefield, but unfortunate part for him is none of those soldiers are really doing anything to help him except the balls around the black. I like this shot. I like this shot a lot. That's a great shot from Tyron there. could not actually play that any better. There was real danger involved in that shot because he was moving the yellow that was really making the black super tricky. And once again, JB can pot this ball over the hole, but he's then faced with the transitional shot to the black and won't take it on for that reason. So he's just going to play this ball that he's snookered behind and just make sure he makes contact, try and hit it fairly full. And has succeeded. So for Tyron right now, it's not about pulling out some giant out. It really is a bit of a survival mode, probably for the next maybe shot or two. Maybe try and put himself in a position where he can make a realistic chance to make this out. But right now, with this ball that's just above the white, oh sorry, below the white now, and the two that are up near the black, which you've got to get left hand side of the table and land pretty neat on. It's a very, very tricky out. And Tyron has said, well, I'll tell you what, Solid, I'm going to deal with this yellow that you just spoke of and clear the red. Well, at least that will be the intention, unless he tries to sit this over the hole. That is actually what he's tried to do. He's played it well, and I'll tell you what, he's played it so well that I don't think he can kick this out. So this Tyron King has got a bit of go about him. JB's actually now the one that needs to do some thinking. Why do I have all these eyes on me? JB's just going to kick this out, I think. Just stay a shot ahead. Well, he's played that well. I think even JB's pretty happy with that result. I think it's turned out better than what he expected.
Table 7, Grant Weekly, Wes Hayes. Table 7, Grant Weekly and Wes Hayes.
Yeah, you can jump in if you want. You need a chair. Reece Godden's going to chuck a mic on.
G'day guys, how we going? How's this match travelling so far? I've watched a little bit of it.
Just come in. He's just overhit that. I actually thought maybe this would be the time for him to commit, but he's already lost position, so reassessment probably required.
Yeah, so Tyron was on my table in the qualifiers, and he's played a lot of good game. He was looking like top of the table early on. He had a couple of late losses to lose it, but he's definitely got a bit of quality about him. He's just got to knuckle down and play the right shots against these players, which look like he is. Really.
Well, he's hung around in this frame, and as I said, he's probably turned it around in his favour, but he's just lost position.
Yeah, well, John Barton's one of those players. He's definitely going to play the right shots, and you just.
I'll tell you what, I like that shot.
He
He didn't actually want to leave the gap like that, but there is no way JB's taking this ball on. He's bridging over a ball fairly, he's going to have to jack up fairly high, and he would need to screw down the table, right up the rail, land in the middle pocket, or go past the right-hand side of the red and land high up on it. It's just not happening, so this will get promoted over the hole neatly.
It's funny, you see a lot of players today would take on something like that.
No, this is
just going wild, but,
this is
but yeah,
mental.
not the players that are still left in the comp, that's for sure.
Yeah, taking that on was just absolute suicide. And JB's promoted that knowing that he'd leave this ball across the right corner, but also knows that there's this one above. It's dodgy as well.
Yeah, he might have the angle to just slide underneath that if he can dig right into this yellow to the right pocket.
I think he's got too much for that. I actually don't mind playing the ball to the top right-hand corner now, but the problem is you're Chinese snooker on that as well. Still in a lot of trouble. Like I said, I think he stayed in this frame quite well.
Yeah, it's just the shot to that right pocket I'm game to take on with and jack up a little bit, whereas the one to the top corner, I think
That's actually a very large result. I don't think he's actually meant that, but he'll cop it.
Yeah, interesting one to know whether he has spotted that one.
I don't think he's meant that.
A nice little controlled shot, but maybe, just thinking maybe he might have been trying to leave him off the one around the pocket so he can't get any better position than what he leaves him. He might have seen that, but yeah, to keep him off both is a bit of a result, I think.
Looks like JB's going to play a face cut here. Realistic shot.
That's it. It's
And
one of
it's
those
in.
things. If it goes,
Oh,
yeah,
thought it was in.
if it goes in, it's all over. Just
Richmond and Darren Shaw.
when you're in those positions, you got to have a go at something.
How's the angle he's left here? This ball in the middle. Tricky to tell with the camera, but how's this angle for potting this come off the side rail and into the yellow? I think maybe he might slide past it.
Naturally, to me, it looks like he's. If you hit it hard enough to get it out, I think he's hitting the yellow about half ball, which is only going to get it deeper. He's got to hit
cop
that
half
very
ball.
well.
I'd cop half ball right here.
And he's on the rail as well, so he's got not a lot of choice.
I think you've got to take this on. This is your chance to win this frame.
And if he overplays it, he runs into the black.
Yeah, that was what I was worried about.
Yeah, that was the angle I seen as well. But he didn't have a lot of choice there. It's not like he's. It's not a huge error when he had an opportunity, basically.
It's really funny though. This is tricky as well.
Yeah, he's got that yellow to catch the white. He's both bottom pockets covered. He's not going to run back down the table.
You actually have to try and pot this in one, in case you just flick the yellow and leave yourself dodgy.
Yeah.
And you know if you hit it thick, you're not going to be on it. You overcut it, it's probably not too bad because you probably double kiss the yellow.
That's it. And even the deep screw, like glance the yellow, is because of that other yellow on the left. That also good chance of blocking the two rails and a little bit of position.
He's taking it on. He's got double
he's
cannon.
caught it. Perfect.
Table 3, Nelson Chatter, John McLaren. Table 3, Nelson Chatter, John McLaren.
So the shot I see here, you play the right hand side half ball black off the bottom cushion. White ball just travels a little bit to the right hand side and you just play for the black in the left centre. That's the shot I play here. It's all about pace.
Yeah, it is one of those shots. I see it as personal preference. It just depends on where you'd rather play it to.
This must go.
Yeah.
This go, well actually, never mind. I've not even looked at this shot. I'm an idiot. That's a percentage shot all day.
Yeah, I did look at it, but I thought it was too tight.
I think it flies.
He's definitely got room if he's played it. There was a million other options, so.
Oh wow! It didn't even touch the yellow. That flew in. That's actually how big that pocket was. Because even if he hits the yellow half ball, it's going to go in.
Good little confident shot as well. He knows he's playing it in front of the yellow, but he's
Table 5, Shane
it was off the
Martin,
rail. It
Benny
wasn't
Ritchie.
that
Table
awkward an
5,
angle,
Shane
but yeah, it
Martin,
must have been a
Benny
massive pocket for him to be playing it that confidently. No doubt there.
I think this might actually be the last final 16 match before we start the quarterfinals too. There's a lot of matches going on around the room, but I think they're all Blancs Comp matches.
Yeah, I think Jimmy was asking at the counter before. They said they were waiting on this. These guys were running a fair bit behind, so.
I blame AJ. He played JB before this match. I blame AJ for it. Too slow.
Held him up a bit.
Look at this break. And I don't know about you, Reese, but yellow's just said, eat me.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's not too much coverage there. The reds aren't terrible, but the yellows are definitely a bit simpler with that cluster on the bottom
Table
left.
14, Steve Spear, Dale Gifford.
I'm telling you now,
Steve Spear and Dale Gifford.
anybody that chooses reds over yellows on this particular break needs to be checked into a psychiatric ward. Just do not take reds here.
It only takes one good shot though, but yeah,
You don't need to-
the yellows are.
you don't need to take any good shots on yellows.
The yellows are wide open. They're basically. There's pretty much not one ball that's not onto three pockets.
Table 6, Jack Canning and Justin Hammer.
The only thing you need to do on yellows here is make sure your final yellow transitions nicely to a decent black.
Yeah,
Because you want to land fairly nice on that black because it's got to be trickled into the middle. And I really like this bottom ball here on the left-hand side of the table as my final ball for this black. And he's going to take it now. So what would I know? I will be interested to see how he finishes in transitions on this, because that to me was just such an obvious shot. You could land almost anywhere on the table, and you know you're going to land on that left-hand quarter side of the table and be on the black.
Yeah.
Now you need to actually...
You are coming from behind the reds though, so that might have been why you didn't like it. Yeah, you have to be right with pace, but...
I just can't see you could land by those reds unless you're miscued. Stun shot off the bottom cushion, like there's no way it's going to happen. Anyway, there are multiple ways to finish this frame.
Yeah, that's it. No, not even worth guessing it, because everyone's going to see these different with the many options.
I can just start to see this unravelling though.
Yeah, that's it. All he's really got to do here is pick his final ball before the black, and
this is actually the key shot now. This is the key shot. He needs to land neat on one of these balls up the other end.
Yeah, he could.
That's not bad.
That's fine, yeah.
Still work to do though.
They are running nicely this weekend though. They definitely keep moving.
But there is, from this particular spot on the table right now, for me, there isn't a really obvious transition. Whereas before, there was really obvious transition for me for this black. Now, you need to play stun shot, or you've got to play some kind of positional shot to land absolutely perfect for your final yellow, which I'm assuming is going to be this ball in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking you're just going to run this in, play for the ball on the right-hand side corner, and then try and stun across for the last yellow on the bottom left. But all this needs to be hit really perfectly. He's checked this up. This doesn't look perfect. This looks straight, but he might have the other ball in the middle.
Yeah,
actually,
he does look like that angle.
He's okay now. A little soft screw here, and he should be fine. Oh, it's too straight.
Yeah, he needed to look at that and make sure he...
See what I mean? You rolling this ball in the bottom, you're fat on the black. Now you've got to screw off this, so it's a skill shot. And if you play this shot 10 times, you'll land 10 different spots with the white, probably, or at least 8 different spots. So that's not great.
Yeah, that's not the sort of blacks you want to play.
Table 13, Ryan Murish, Ben Ryan. Table 13, Ryan Murish and Ben Ryan.
Has he got 2? Oh, well, suck me left one. I didn't even know that.
Was that...
How did he get 2?
That was what I was wondering, because I thought John Barton was at the table when the ball spread and landed like that.
Everything I just talked about with transition, that didn't mean anything.
But then I looked and Ty was at the table, so...
No wonder he wasn't worried.
I think that could be it. It might have been a failure to nominate or something like that. Because I did swear that John Barton was at the table at first, and then I looked over and Ty was walking in. I thought I must have just been mistaken.
And one of the contentions for the best name in 8 ball, Justin Hammer, has just been called to the table. Okay, we're in the footy.
So I'm not too sure about Ty's history, but he's basically looks like he's handling the pressure pretty well. He's not sort of putting in an extra on himself than he has to at this level of comp.
Jesus, look at the reds here as well. These breaks are so open.
Yep. John Barton double nominating there by the sounds of it, just to make sure.
Forgot to nominate last frame. That's how Tyron got 2. Rare error. Richmond 1. And I forgot to bet. On it too. I'm an idiot.
Sure, this will.
Yeah, for those who don't, go to the Tigers.
Couple of good little judgment shots here. He's landed a little bit in between on all the balls. They're all sort of trying to slide behind that yellow on the left from where he is. But as long as he finds a good line to come back out to the centre, which it looks like he gets through fine here.
Oh, wow, that is... Wow. Wow. I don't even know what to say to that. That's just hang time like a boss. Transitional issue here is probably the ball next to the black. It's probably going to be his last ball, I guess. I would actually, if this was me, I would not want that to be my last ball.
Yeah, I usually don't mind that. Like, if you didn't have the black to 4 pockets, I think that's balls a worry. But the way they are, I think no matter where you land on that red, as long as you're not fine cutting it, you're going to have a good chance at landing on the black fine. But in saying that, also does have the option to play that ball below the black and then save the one for. I was going to say the one for the centre, but he might be playing the plant with the one towards the right centre. But he might be playing the plant with that ball that is in the centre, so that ball will probably be moved by then.
I think what he's trying to do is just drop this in, find the little gap between the reds, and he's just going to drop this ball that's on the right hand side and just land pretty straight on the red that's in the middle of the table, and then run the white ball right through for that final red.
Yeah.
You had heaps of angle.
Yeah.
Your shot's the shot now. Play the plan.
Yeah, this is a bit of a worry because it looks like he's got the wrong angle. He's going to be, the white's going to be the wrong side of this red.
This is what I'm saying. I didn't want this red last. It's too. It could be difficult to transition to.
Yep.
So he can play it now if he wants, but then he's still going to run the risk of landing on an off angle. I like this plant though. This plant looks actually unmissable. It's all about not screwing off it too much and letting the follow through of the second red, and then go slip past the yellow.
Yeah, it can happen.
He's going to take this cut in by the looks of it. JB actually plays these half ball shots really well too.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea.
Oh, I say that, and he's missed it by a foot. I just should not say stuff like that.
Yeah, he's hit that thick as well. If he hits that thin, he's probably got similar position. He can hit it a lot softer so as he can get the cover, worst case scenario, and land similar spot centre of the table. He's just
I think that was purely a white ball control thing rather than it just forgot to pot the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, you pick where you want the white and how to get it there.
I'm pretty sure every single person in this room is guilty of that multiple times throughout the time they've played. Tell you what, this bloke, how old do you reckon this bloke is? He's running some ink for his age.
Yeah, he has got that young look.
He's got a calf. He's got a calf sleeve. He's got he's got a bicep sleeve. He's got some crap on the back, I think there I saw as well. Inside bicep. He looks 15.
I do know
He's having a crack at the ink.
I do know he's local to Adelaide, but yeah, I didn't get talking to him too much yesterday.
This is the problem with coming over to South Australia. There's heaps of these young guys like this that are playing that you don't even know who they are, but they can all play. That looks good. That looks really good, that angle.
Yeah, it's just about ideal. Are you trying to do any extraction here, or are you trying to? I think you've got to try to run into that top yellow. You're always going to land on one of them.
You'd think you'd be on something,
yeah. You'd be pretty unlucky.
Oh wow, he's crunched that. He's got a result.
Did he play that off the red to punch the red into those balls? I can't even think of where the red was, but
he just crunched it.
Definitely looked that way.
He's got the sickest result I think I've seen today.
Covers both pockets, leaves a tiny gap under the right pocket, but leaves the yellow on top of the red, so you got no chance of playing in there anyway.
You can just see the smile on JB, and now the look of concern, like what the hell just happened there. But he'll also know that this is a result of a very bad miss as well.
Luckily for JB, it's now best of 7s instead of best of 5s. To be getting a result like this, but it is funny though, because people will always complain. They'll always tell you after the match about this result, that result there. But if JB doesn't miss the red down the bottom, then
this wouldn't have happened.
The opponent doesn't get the chance at it, and it's always the way. It's always after you make a crucial mistake that they'll get a big result like that. I've found.
This is not good.
Yeah, that was
one good shot here with some left hand side to swing over to the ball on the rail, and this is not nice.
Well, with the 2 visits, it doesn't even take one good shot really. You can get away with playing some.
If he puts too much sideness and screw, that's a great shot. He's actually played that fantastic.
Yeah, it does eliminate that the whole chance of glancing that yellow. And
tell you what, if he's real and feeling amazing, you chuck a little bit of right hand side on this, just to straighten up the shot. The only reason I say that is now you're going down table.
Yeah.
So you're coming off the red.
Off the red.
If you can get straight on this, you can just run straight through, and then you've got a really nice shot in the middle. But he can
If
probably
he's
use the
confident,
red.
he can punch this with top, off the red, off the bottom, off the side, and land
Oh,
really
he's using
nice.
too. Oh, that's
Might not have been on that ball really. Like it was.
That's not ideal.
Close.
That's why it's going to travel a touch now.
Yeah, that was what I was looking at that when he played the ball down the rail. I was looking at that I'd want to stay almost as high as possible just to make sure you're clear. You're no danger of touching that red on the way through to the yellow because it did look tight the pot.
Oh, that's the worst result possible. And it's actually very important. If you're going to play that shot, you've got to make sure you avoid contact there.
Yep.
If you slip past that bloke, you know you've got a shot.
It's one of those shots. It can be good for your confidence to flow off that rail, but he might have been better off there just checking it up.
Yeah,
just rolling in, checking it up, play the black to the centre, really percentage, but.
This could be a giant turning point in this match as well if he does go on to lose his frame, because this was I would have to say, a pretty straightforward out with 2 shots, and especially after he played his initial excellent positional shot, he's going to play the double. Double kiss, or might just not come into play, the double kiss. He's played it not great, but he's got a good white.
That's enough.
He's got a good white.
Oh.
Wow, look at that black.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, he is getting some results. This has put JB under some serious pump.
I'm just thinking whether he tries to run that white high for safety on the black, or whether it is an awkward pot. Even this one over the pocket, he's running further than he wants.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to roll it in. Just
Trying to work out whether he's going to flick that red.
he's jacking up, so that's definitely what he's going for.
I think he's just doing that to avoid the metal on the pocket. Great shot.
Oh,
He did
no.
just flick the red. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he did have to hit that pretty sweet.
But he's still got an opportunity here. He's got the big run through.
Yeah, that's it.
And I feel you have to take it. There's no point in playing the wobble back up. It's too easy and up and down.
It's no easy 2 balls,
Oh,
but
he's
once
just
you've managed
smashed him.
to
How's his result?
big.
Oh, that's not awesome. You'll
On
cop it, though.
most tables, that's not awesome, but I think today,
So he's actually
I reckon that's an 80 to 90% pot on these tables.
he's actually got that close to it because he played a bit of a stun run through instead of the full topspin shot.
Yeah.
Up and down. Oh, he's managed to hold. What a great finish from JB. That's experience, that. Experience and holding your nerve. That was a big out. Turning point, I'm telling you. I reckon JB runs away with this now. I'm going to make the prediction because when things like that happen, when you probably shouldn't lose the frame, things can just run away from you.
Yeah, well, that's another one that shows the difference between the players at this level. Whether Ty can recover from that and come back and look like it never happened, because I think you definitely a good chance of seeing some signs of him thinking about that miss in the next frame. Just check his composure.
Plenty of people having a look-see. And there's still stuff going on in other rooms as well. And once this gets down the quarters and the Blancs comp starts to have more eliminations, this room really fills up and it's quite loud and atmospheric. It's a great environment. Great break from JB with the white. Held it perfectly. This time it's not Christmas like the last 2 breaks where they were just so, the outs just look so straightforward. A bit more work this time. Still like the reds.
You'd have to say that does suit JB though, but just controlling the frame a little bit better. But in saying that, yeah, I wouldn't say Ty's the sort of player that plays the big out, or the sort of player that plays the, like I wouldn't say he's one or the other.
What are you saying then, mate?
I'm just saying he's not like, I didn't see him pulling huge outs yesterday. He did play a good control frame, but I think it was a happy medium sort of
play
thing. He's not the
percentage pull.
player. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
JB's opted reds as suspected. Picks a gap. I'll tell you what, he'll actually cop that because he's on something. It could have been way worse. If he had a cannon the red, the yellow on the left-hand side, he would have been on probably not a lot.
Yeah, there's definitely some awkward transitions in this though.
Yeah, it's a tricky out this. There's a lot of white ball movement required. I think if he's going to commit though, this ball he's looking at near the pocket has to be played now to free up the ball down the cushion.
This looks like one of those frames though, where you play your first couple of balls, like everything's such a mess, you play your first couple of balls and then you look at the table and your opponent's balls just look crisp.
Yeah. Well, if he eliminates his ball, yellows look sick.
Yeah.
I think if he goes for the cannon, if he goes for the cannon, it won't work out nice.
Yeah.
Could it be worse?
Yeah, the white is running here, but if he can...
I don't mind this because you can cut this in, pick the gap between the yellows, play for the red up the top in the left corner, and then you can play that, give yourself an angle to land just off straight on this ball on the cushion, drop it in, then you've got your long red up the top. So you don't have to do a lot with the white.
Yeah, it looks to me like he runs too far on that ball though. Like, I would have liked to be running into that yellow, but even that's too close to the red.
Oh, he's missed the pot.
So you're not a very good danger of having a good line, good angle on the red to the corner after it anyway.
Tyron should make this. Like, he needs to get these if he wants to win this match and continue the tournament. These are all very gettable. Trickiest ball is probably the one near the red that's stuck to the red. And even that's not too bad.
One other thing he probably does have to look at, he should be fine, just look at that red next to the yellow that he's going to be playing down the rail. You can land awkward on that and have that red messing up your white to land on another ball, so I'd be trying to leave a guaranteed ball to land on after that. And also get into it as early as possible.
Oh, how's this? I'd actually go for the cannon on this red-yellow straight away here. Oh, you could land on not a lot. You could actually not land neat after that, so maybe not. Actually, what am I talking about? Play it in the corner.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
And if he's
usually I'm the one making them crazy calls. Oh yeah, you kick that out and you move that and play that with either side, and you're usually there like, why don't you just roll it in?
Not sure if he's got angle to screw to the right side of the table for that ball near the rail too. If he does, it's perfect.
Yeah, it does look slightly off that to me, but he's got plenty of options still in the centre of the table. If he can just stun that in, then what do you get rid of that ball up the top of the table? I think he's also awkward
he didn't
on
have
that.
the angle, yeah.
Yeah.
But now, how's his angle?
Yeah, just hopefully he gets rid of his awkward balls before he runs out of options for these balls in the centre, because yeah, it's not looking ideal again. Could be a punch stun to get on that bottom right red, the yellow. Sorry.
I think he's alright. They all go to the top left. All of the balls go to the top left. Like the two that are going to be left after this in the centre of the table. That's overplayed. Now he's in trouble. I shouldn't say he's in trouble, but he's not. He's just made hard work, like really hard work at this.
Plus stuck to the rail. If you're a ball's width off the rail, then stunning that ball in the left centre, the centre ball to the left centre and landing on the other one isn't bad, but where he is...
I think he's off angle. I think his angle's terrible. See, to me, the angle looks like it's sort of just travelling towards the yellow in not a nice way, like where he's going to be off angle.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. If he's a ball's width off the rail, he can sort of jack up on it and play the similar shot to his last one, stun across.
Oh, I don't
maybe
like this. I do not like this at all.
Yeah, this is where things go wrong.
This is how you lose.
But he was pretty much forced to try for something like that. Like, he can't.
Tell you what, that's sick because I think he's got a really good angle here.
Probably his only other option there was to punch that in with tops so the white swings around, the yellow comes off too and lands back on, which is no better than that shot he had there. So
this is a dead weight shot for me.
Yeah, this still looks awkward angle. I think the
angle's good. That's why it's dead weight.
But if you're running that to that bottom corner with the pace, you're going to be close to that yellow at least.
Oh. I actually think he's overhit that by a fair bit too.
Yeah.
He's overcut it as well, so the whites ran
Dave
further.
Gifford, table 5.
Yeah, fair
Dave
call.
Gifford, table 5.
But once again, great
Yeah,
result.
another result. Just JB's going to be sick of getting to the table and looking at awkward balls, especially after he looks after Ty and gives him a nice set like he did then.
May see him just nudge this red, and just push the yellow to the jaw, leave a gap, leave the white ball hard up on the red, not really leave a shot.
Yeah.
The problem with that shot is you've got to get the pace absolutely perfect, otherwise the yellow rocks back on, and you're no better off.
Yeah. As I did mention at the start of that out, he has left the two most awkward yellows. He's been stuck with them two most awkward yellows for the last two balls.
Yeah.
But you can't say that was 100% by choice, because he did just keep on landing the exact angle.
But that's
you
what I
don't
mean.
really
You've got to make sure that you give yourself correct angles for transitional play. Then, while the outs are always really simple when the ball's in the middle of the table, you've still got to be able to move from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Otherwise, it just turns into a tailspin out of control.
Yep.
Can he hit this yellow? It looks like he can.
Yeah,
And
he looks pretty happy with it.
And he can probably hit it thick enough to just use some right-hand side to get up the table too. Don't want to hit this real thin. Oh, he's
Yeah,
put
I
it over
think
the
he's
kick, fair enough. Don't blame him. Tell you what, JB might just bump this red out, leave the white ball hard up on the yellow.
Yep.
So I don't like this shot because it just allows him to open up the other yellow or to get into a better spot. Unless he covers it thick. Yeah, I don't like that shot.
Yeah, all that
JB
is,
doesn't like that shot either.
Yeah, all that is just giving him another option. Unless that he does have a bit of a gap there on that bottom side of the yellow. But
He wanted that red to bounce another half ball. He wanted to cover it.
yeah, but it does just leave Ty with one ball over the pocket and a chance to fix your awkward ball.
If
Really.
I'm just taking this. I'm probably just going to have a crack at this top right.
Yep.
Goes in, you win. Doesn't go in, it's over the hole or near the hole, and you're in control still.
Yeah. Even if you do snooky, if you land wrong side of the table and leave yourself, not that you really can.
Probably only
You're always
danger
going to have
is-
that fine cut on it. But
Probably the only danger is not canning the black. He's just opted for the wiser of the shots. It's pretty thin, that cut too. But I don't like that shot because now JB can nestle in again. He can just push this red in a little bit, snooker him on the ball. He's just promoted.
as well. Oh.
I just don't know whether he can create a gap or not. The yellow and the red. But I'm tipping the room did not want to frame like this when it's the last match waiting before the quarters.
I think they must be aiming for the extra table time than the other players who have gone back to have a bit of a rest. They'll be fresh off the tables and everyone else has been off for...
I like the
Good
shot,
half
but
an
he's
hour
got to
now.
cover the yellow. He hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Whole idea there was to cover the yellow with the black, I think. Oh, I guess the primary thing was to make sure you didn't leave him on the ball over the hole.
Do you think he... he's probably not going to... He should be able to catch full jaw and avoid that pocket just rolling up to the top.
Yeah, he won't go in off. I'd take the
It
pot
does
on
look
here, I
close, but...
think. He's just checking to see if he's going to snooker himself or not.
Yeah, well, that is the other thing. You want to hit this soft so it doesn't spit off the yellow a little bit. I think he's just going to play the double, I think he's got no real pressure on him yet. He's just got to have his balls ready for when he gets an opportunity.
I actually think that's a crazy shot, but anyway, it's not that bad.
Yeah, well, I think he must have seen it the same as I did, because if you play that yellow firm, then you're a good chance of going in off, and if you play it soft, then you're a good chance of coming off the jaw and snookering yourself behind the black anyway. So
I just see that if you just don't hit that right, you're just putting it in the bottom rail, and you can get yourself in trouble.
yeah.
JB is going to try and cover up, is he? Yep. Oh, he's fouled.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's not going to be happy with that. That's just a gut feeling, but yeah, I don't think he's going to be happy with it. All Tyron has
sure.
to care about here is potting this yellow for now. Potting this yellow and getting a shot on the last yellow. He knows if he pulls this wide out, he's going to have 2 shots on the black from anywhere on the table.
There is not much margin for error here because I'd like to be trying to stick to this side
I'd be
rail.
just dragging
Whereas
this in.
you can't play this ball with left as you would like to.
I don't think you need to. I think you just drop it in.
Yeah.
So
It's just now you don't have the option for the screw shot to get out of there clean. You run into the red and then you've got to worry about doubling the red in front of the white. And
I don't know. I'm just jacking up and punching this in, just making sure I get the white out.
rail first or... Yeah.
No, I'm probably just going to hit it full. Just slightly off straight. You can't really go in off it. You're going to catch the red, so you know the white ball's going to come out.
If you're punching it though, not rail first, I think this is actually missable. Like just so it can just spit out off jaws.
You'd have to hit this pretty bad. He'll get a shot on this. Oh,
Yeah,
he's hit it,
full ball
he's hit
on
it
that.
sick. I don't even know if he's played exactly for that or not, but he's not going to, like I said, as long as he just cleared the white out, he's going to have 2 on the black. So this is going to be, ooh, never mind, 2-all. So the crowd gets to wait a bit longer. Do you realise Jimmy's a 10.50, you can't lose 7 again?
No, Jimmy's a 7 as well. Yeah. See the signs everywhere, Jimmy, $7?
10.50 for the first one I went off.
Sorry, you muted on me. Oh, really? I think they stitched you up there a bit. Because there's signs all around the room, $7 Jimmy's. It's been like Christmas. They've been flowing for everyone, I think. Between the Jimmys and the Canadians. So tie to break.
Big break. Don't think he's going to pot a ball though.
Little container.
JB's probably going to take reds because he's got a decent shot at one, and I don't think he does on yellows.
Yeah.
And very gettable. I'm not sure if this plant goes or not. The two, the whites to the left of at the moment.
Yeah, I do like that you got another ball with those though, to if you do need to move it. So I don't think they're that big a problem. I think the top centre red,
Yeah, I
because
agree.
of the yellow next to
Yeah,
it,
you've got to get to the right side, left side of the table.
yeah, can't afford to land low on it. Judging by that, I think he likes the plant. At least must at least have a bit of separation.
Well, if there's separation, he plays this. The red's going to travel towards the other red and yellow, so
Yeah.
he might just play for a little cannon on
Yeah.
the bottom of the two as we look at it. Missed the pot. He just shanked that a touch.
Table 6, Grant Weekly, Lee Gilpin. Table 6, Grant Weekly and Lee Gilpin.
Just trying to find some links through here. Do you play that plan up the top while you're there? Try and land.
I think if
basically leave you. There. You're probably a good percent. It's a good percentage plan.
I think
you
you'd play this
too
plan
worried
now if
about
you're on it
missing,
for sure.
But you can look at just keeping your white on top of that red, just so he doesn't have a shot, which he's almost done.
I actually think he's played that really badly, just to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that was a mile off, and he didn't actually give it the attention it deserved either.
Yeah, I sort of have found that this weekend though, yes, because balls drop down the rail sometimes that they sort of shouldn't, you do tend to take it for granted. I tend to take it for
Yeah,
granted.
you can get a little lazy on the shot, you're
You
right.
just expect it to go and then all of a sudden you've missed the pocket. And so those two yellows, just looking at them on the table. I'm not sure if that left one... it does look fine for the left one to slide in.
Good shot from JB. Just don't know if it offers any real advantage positional-wise to him.
Doesn't look like the top, the red is closest to passes to the centre. Because that'd be ideally the shot. You have got a bit of an awkward angle to come off 2 rails and get back into the centre of the table.
Great shot, JB, and that's experience. He deserves a result here, and he's got one. No, honestly, he does. He's actually copped a really crap run of the balls this match so far, in my opinion. That was a sensational shot off the yellow, and he deserved a result.
I was looking at that off the yellow, and I thought you'd just tell me it's another one of those crazy shots.
Well, I think it was the only shot, to be honest, Reece. I don't think it was on clean.
That's all you've got. The way the Whites responded is, if the ball goes in, White's definitely well controlled.
Yeah, I think left-hand side of the table here. Get yourself in line with the black, and you get choice of balls.
Top or bottom, though? He's pretty straight on this. He can screw off the side rail, or he can top off the top.
I think
rail.
I'd top, and I'd slip down the left-hand side of the table myself, but this is preference.
Yeah. Yeah, I think because I've seen that he was always coming. I don't think he had much choice to get around there. It takes a very nice sort of stunny top to punch around that yellow and stay on. This
I don't know. I
side,
just thought it was playing ball myself, but I could have been wrong. But the only reason I looked at that is because I know I'm giving myself a choice of 2 balls.
Yeah, both balls. Yeah.
But he's okay here. One good pot. He obviously wants to play with enough pace to come off a side rail, give himself good cueing.
Yeah. Just got to hit it soft enough to hold on the other red, which wasn't hard.
Played it very well, and if anything, he's probably slightly too straight to make it slightly awkward.
You did need that little bit of bounce, but it's not all good. He might have. How dead straight is he? I can see the tail. Yeah, he has got a little bit of angle to stun away from the black. If he just wants to stun and play the black to the right centre. Because
he might be actually going to play for the bottom left corner. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, he just had that slight bit of angle to run away from the black.
He wanted to play for the middle there, but I think he'll be content with the corner here. He might even still play in the middle. Just depends on how he feels. He's going to play in the middle. No, going to play in the corner.
Yeah.
He's just moving around a little bit on the cue there. Yeah, he looked a bit dodgy on that, I've got to say. If you actually go back and look at that, you'll see that his whole body is sort of shifting across the cue, and so he wasn't actually lining his body up, which means when he cues the shot, he could actually cue across the line. He just didn't look comfortable on that.
Definitely wasn't those shots that you could afford to do that on either. But I think he has looked at that. That's why he's played it to the top, because he was happy with the safety, which he hasn't left anything too easy, but I'm sure he's not going to be left anything too easy in his next visit either.
You just cannot think about a good white on a shot like that. The only thing that needs to be going through your head on that is just potting the ball. You must pot the ball. There's nothing. If you start thinking about, can I get the white here in case I miss, then you're already thinking negatively. Like, you've got yourself a great shot on that black. You've just played a really good out. You back yourself to pot and think nothing else. I don't think he was worrying about the white. I think he just, like I said, I think he just rushed to the touch, wasn't quite comfortable, and then just moved a bit on it.
Yeah.
But, one thing you've got to bear in mind too, this man that we're watching is actually a legend of the game in Australia. He honestly is. He's been around a long time. He's won a lot of tournaments, and he's obviously not in his prime at the moment. Oh, he's just missed that. He's just checked it up.
That too. Yeah, it was definitely an awkward cut. And when that plant, wasn't it?
Yeah, JB's won Berri before. Look, JB's won just about everything, I think. But like I said, he will know himself. He's not in his prime anymore. I'm not sure exactly how old he is, but I know he's over the age of 50. And for him to be playing the qualities at that age as well is, in my opinion, a testament to him as well.
I do remember him making at least the top 8 one of the previous 2 years, I think, though. So
Oh, he's still dangerous.
he's
Don't not worry about that.
Which, if there is a year for that sort of thing, I think it's this year. With the lack of elites.
Just pure experience is enough to get you deep in tournaments sometimes. You don't need to make massive outs all the time. Sometimes you'll just have a run of matches where the balls just don't open up, and you've got to
control the frame.
Yep,
yeah.
you've got to play tight.
And a lot of people, it does get a bit like that. You see those offensive players who, if they are on, you can't touch them, but they're still always looking for the out. So if you get them up against one of the experienced guys like JB, he's going to show them a different side of the game.
I mean, strangely enough, this match has been quite open. The breaks have been quite huge, and they're just not capitalising either player. They're not finishing outs.
Yeah.
But, you know, and then suddenly the frame's getting a little scrappy because a few balls get missed or whatever. As I said, Tyron's, I think, probably had the better run of the balls when he's smacked a couple of balls and things have gone well for him. But, you know, you've got to pot those blacks, basically. When you get a chance at them, you've got to nail them.
What are you thinking here? Are you dedicating to the out, or are you...
I am absolutely committing.
Just this ball up the top. Just looking at how he's going to get to that and back.
So it just depends on how confident you are here. Like, we know they're huge. If you run through this and give yourself an angle on that ball in the middle, come down the table. She's looking at the left-hand side on this. That's missed. I don't know why you had left-hand side on that. JB's got a double this in the middle, maybe, or the corner. Either way, you've got to have a crack. You can't just knock it out in the middle of the table. So he's going to have a dip. I think he's looking at the corner. Yeah, he is.
Is the white in contention for the corner, though, for the double kiss? I think the white does just stay this side of it.
White's fine. The thing about doubling full length, the harder you hit it, the more it's going to straighten up. Yeah. So you've got to factor that in if you want to punch it. If you're trying to play it like dead weight, then you've got to obviously get the perfect angle right, and you see how he's hit it hard, it's straightened up. Yeah. So if you had to hit that half the weight, it probably would have got much closer to the pocket. So now he's actually left him a perfect angle to just come down for this last ball. It's probably the only tricky ball on the table.
Yeah, and also
push the yellow
right up the push the black right up the end of the yellow zone, and I'm sure he'll be getting up for his top ball as soon as he possibly can.
I think if Tyron loses his frame from here, then he will not deserve to win this match. And he's actually done the one thing that if I was going to say don't do, and that's land
Leave
straight.
Himself straight on it, yeah.
I mean, it still shouldn't matter.
The fact that balls are out of the pocket, I think that's probably the only reason he did it. I think if he had an awkward ball next, then he would have been leaving himself high.
As it turns out, he wasn't that straight after all, but he's played that confidently. Just going to be a touch careful here. Yep, that's nice. So there'll be no problems here. He will finish his frame and go take a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, he does seem to like the screw shot. He's not one of the players that use the rails as much as a lot of players would.
Oh, he's getting through the ball nice now too.
Yeah. So 3-2 and JB to break.
Been a good match this. I mean, yes, there's been some missed outs when you would expect the players to get them, but you know, things have got a little tricky and there's been a bit of back and forth. It's been entertaining in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely been equal, you would say. It's unlike some of the other matches earlier on by the sounds of it. There's been a lot of 3-0, 4-0 sort of cleanups.
We did have an absolute explosion of brain fade in the Mikey Cacciola match. That was a crazy frame. It was like 4 in offs or something, or just chop up central. It was just one of those weird frames.
Oh, really?
You get them though.
That's it. As long as you get away with them.
I think he's going to take reds here, wouldn't you? Play the long plant.
The only the yellow contains the yellows contain the black is the only thing stopping you. The only thing even making you look at yellows, I'd say at this point.
What's he playing here?
On centre. That might slide in the left centre, but it doesn't look like the sort of shot you'd play.
Wow, that was huge. He's pushed a yellow safe as well. Although you can, once again, these pockets allow for this shot. You can play this shot pretty much just with top down the rail and come across this ball on the bottom across as well. And you can actually feel quite comfortable in playing this shot. And this is what I'm talking about. These pockets will allow for really high level attacking pull.
Yeah, this could be a prime example to show that.
I don't think he'll play it. I don't even know that he'll even see it because it's just a shot that, in general, isn't available to you.
It's not what you would take on.
Although he's looking at it.
Ordinary circumstances.
I think he's looking at it. There we go. I think he's playing this. In my opinion, it's the shot.
Maybe the fact that he does half own the black is what's. It could make a big difference in choosing that shot. JB has got the red next to it for options.
It's one more good shot away here from clearing because if he can stun this in, keep his wide ball left-hand side of the table, he's got the ball down the rail as well. You don't want to get too straight on it though. You actually want to bring the wide out. I think he's doing it.
Ooh,
I reckon that's ducked away.
that definitely looked like it.
Oh, he might not hit it great. JB may choose to double this red onto the other one over the hole, unless he feels it's a really nice gap to put the red inside the yellow. But either way, he's not going to want to leave it there for very long.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a tidy gap. It looks like one of those ones that you do have a chance of that red getting caught on the rail and the yellow still being on.
It is. He's just managed to get that double.
That's a. It's hard to say too unfortunate because really that's one of those shots that people look at because it's a big double plant. People go, "Oh, you're unlucky to land wrong," which you do have to be paying a lot of attention to the pot, but.
Well, he's played for the ball in the middle, though.
The white's always exactly the same as if you're playing another pot, as long as you pay a little bit of attention to it.
It's all about what he does with his black. I'll tell you, he's got an angle right now. If he wants to, oh no, actually he might swing a bit wide. Starting to run out of balls though if he pots this as well.
Yeah, it did looked iffy.
You know what that is to me, that shot? To me, that's a shot of, I don't really want to commit to this out.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to play a different ball than this, and I'm not really worried if it doesn't go in.
That's it. Leave some balls on the table, a bit of traffic.
But I feel that you can't have that mindset because you get punished for it, and then you think, well, why didn't I have a fair dinkum dip there?
But what result did he get from punching that is the other thing, because I feel like if the shot's on, he could have played that a lot softer, basically still landing in the same spot if he cues it with the bottom.
Not a bad shot from Tyron.
How intentional's that one?
Well, he's definitely played for the kick out on the ball on the rail.
Yeah, but just to cover up this red on the bottom.
Well, I think he made the red better. I think the yellow's awkward now.
Yeah. Yeah, the yellow
I reckon
probably is a
JB's
little
going to
bit
pop
more.
this and run this red, just the right hand side of the table, over the bottom pocket. Not now, eh? think he was actually not meaning to land there, but see what plan B is.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
Does
was.
have
They are a hard shot to judge, those. You sort of never know. Like, a mil of accuracy on the ball is probably 100 mil where the white lands, sort of thing. So they're always a bit iffy.
He's fouled. No rail.
Oh, yeah. So an opportunity to finish for Tyron.
Yeah, definitely a good chance, it too. But it's still tricky. There's a little bit of work to do, although I reckon this opening shot could blow everything wide apart here. There's yellow inside the red and into the black.
Yep.
Guaranteed to have a linking ball with the ball on the right hand side of the table. I think this is the shot to blow everything apart. One good little
It's got to be
split.
controlled though. You want a soft kick just to open them. You don't want any of those balls anywhere towards that left side.
I basically want to push the black about 1.5 foot. Just sort of towards the centre area of the pocket. Oh, wow. Not sure what the intention was there. I actually don't even know why you're screwing up the table there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
he feels
I would have said that he might have paid too much attention to the pot and not enough to position, but to miss it like that as well. I think he might have just stabbed it a bit. I wasn't watching his.
Yeah, he did stab it a touch. I'm just thinking maybe he thinks he's ball over the middle and the other one is just his tricky balls. But to me, it was if you just open up stuff, they all look pretty on to me.
Most of his balls are still in a good spot. He's he's still got that awkward ball to the left of the black, but he's got the other ball with it as well. You're always a good chance to be able to get a bit of movement there.
That ball above the black goes in the middle. I can see it from here.
Yeah, does it go down this corner though?
Don't think it goes to the corner, but it definitely goes to the middle.
Yeah,
that probably won't be his most famous use of two shots he's ever had, I'd have to say.
Still JB not looking.
He's going to
down
jack
the
up
barrel
here
of
and
best
try and play
balls
the
here.
big smash shot, I think.
He doesn't really need to though. If he can get on that.
Oh, he could not pot the yellow. Tyron has to take these on now. The time is now to win this match, Tyron. This is all in your hands. I believe you aren't going to get a much better chance than this unless JB absolutely chops.
I was just looking at the black to the centre, and it is just on, but not that it matters now for Ty because he's got a good set here, and that yellow will be well and truly gone by the time he gets to it.
So that shot he just played the middle there. You've got to come back centre table there. Like, you don't want angle on this ball over the middle where the white's travelling because you want to be able to control the shot neatly. I mean, you can drop it in. He's got balls along the bottom, but the real issue balls are too near the black.
Yeah.
You want to deal with them quickly while you've got balls over the hole in case something doesn't quite go to plan.
He does seem to be falling in the same trap, and
Oh, I don't like this shot. There's absolutely no need for that.
yeah, as I was saying, he does seem to be falling into the same trap. He's using up all his good balls and not getting position on those hard ones.
I mean, he's still in control. He's at the table, but you just don't want to be leaving horrible balls to the end and then saying, "Oh, geez, I've actually just missed this out, and I've given my opponent a chance to beat me this frame and go to 3-all." I think if this goes to 3-all, JB goes favourite, just purely on experience.
Ordinarily, I would say I'd almost take the ball over the pocket here and try and run into the pack, not hard is the problem though, but considering he just missed it then, I don't know if he will have a go at it again. I think he's going to look at
I would
laying up.
absolutely be playing the ball over the corner. I'm playing for the ball in the middle that's above the black. That's not a bad shot either, I tell you.
Yeah, he does cover up the red there.
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with it. He's got another result, well, it looks by only leaving him on one red that...
I think this red will sneak inside the yellow though. This is an opportunity for JB. At least either get some cover or pot it.
Got it.
he's hit it soft and
Oh.
covered. I don't like that. I don't like that. I'm Pauline Hansoning that shot. Don't like it.
It did look tight. Like, you can get the red maybe a little bit underneath the yellow, but I don't think you can make the yellow not on.
Tyron might just shove
There
this
he
red
was.
across the other side of the table and just say, deal with this as well, JB. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. It's one of those shots that you're sort of never too sure whether you want it tight on the yellow or like to stop your opponent, or whether you want it away from the yellow to leave plenty of room for yourself.
So this is a good shot from JB. He's tying the frame up, and Tyron does not want this. Like he wanted to clear and he didn't commit, and he's actually allowed JB to now tie this frame up. Now it's, even though he's in control still, it's more, well, if he wants to commit, it's far more difficult. So now he's taking this ball over the pocket.
Yeah, because he has that yellow, the bottom yellow towards the centre of the table, I think there's an easy plant there. You can push that red to the rail and your yellow's always on if you play...
Yeah, bottom side.
Yeah, just play the yellow onto the red, maybe a little bit thicker than half ball, just make sure that red hugs the rail, and
surely you pop this
you
ball in the
never
middle
get too
first. Surely you screw off it. Yeah. Here's your shot, Reece, and he's got a great angle for it too, because everything's going to slip bottom end of the table.
Yeah, that's always the awkward part of these shots, having the yellow go one way and the white the other.
These can go wrong, but
I think as long as he doesn't overplay this, he's not going to end up in too bad a situation. Like, as long as the pace is good, I think he'll get away with it fine. Oh,
it wasn't easy in my opinion. I thought it was tricky.
do you think he was aiming for the plant there though? Because that
put it
didn't
this
look
way.
like it at all, and that shot to me never comes out any good.
I think to push the yellow in from the half ball off the red, you actually had to give it a bit. I don't think the red was moving as much as what we thought. It'd be really interesting to see if JB pushes the black up here behind the red, you know. I mean, he's going to leave a foul snooker, but
yeah, but it's not
What do you
the
do with it?
worst result. Yeah.
I really think he's looking at this black.
The 2 visits and the foul snooker, I think Ty will take control of this bottom pocket again, but
He's not playing the black, he's playing his red. Fair enough. Not sure you can actually just pot this red, because I think
Yeah.
these will smash out. Just smash the
Which
left-hand
way?
red,
Yeah.
and it'll
If
just
you-
draw all the yellows.
if you hit the rail and the red at a similar time, you could open it all up. Trying to weigh up all the options here and all the little angles, but
He's kind of forced into doing it. So
yeah, basically, I think if he keeps just toying around much longer, I think JB can gain control.
it's really funny, that shot. If I'm going to pot that red, I'm going to leave the white ball on the right-hand side of the table to make the smash not as controllable with the white. So you can smash this, punch it, and you can pretty much put the white ball in a much easier area to put it. Whereas if it's on the right-hand side of the table, and you're trying to crash into it straight, the white's going to fly a touch. So
I think what Ty has looked at there is trying to block the off-the-bottom rail, run into the red to smash them both out.
yeah, that's a good
Because
call.
that is less margin for error. These yellows are hoping for a little bit of luck on where they land, but the
that is a
balls
very
will
good
spread.
call.
You're going to have options.
That is an excellent call. They've come out.
Oh,
He's
how's
got the
that?
jag.
I think that's only fair, don't you, after a couple of other results?
Holy shit, that's large. And I'll tell you what, this man does pull these out. I'm going to tell us a bit of a sob story about myself here. I think I was 17 years of age, so we're going back about 314 years ago. Oh, wow. Wow.
And the snooker.
Wow. So I was playing JB in the semi-finals in the Ballarat tournament. I was at the Ballonata Room when I was 17 years of age. The first time I ever got that far in a tournament. And we were 2-all. And very similar situation to that. I had coverage of a pocket ball or two, and he's punched it out. He's fluked the ball in the middle and won the match on me. And I think he still remembers that to that day, because sometimes we bring it up and have a bit of a joke about it.
Yeah.
But he hasn't punished that. He hasn't punished that fluke. And you would have to think here that Tyron just promotes this yellow and slips the white in behind the other yellow and just says, "You are being buried for that error." Oh, he hasn't gone that way.
Underneath, see, that's now JB can just tuck the white. He probably would have had the option to tuck the white if he did roll it up, because you're not going to be able to get that yellow too tight in the pocket. But
I would have played the top side of that all day long.
Yeah, I agree. I never even looked at the bottom side. Probably for that exact same reason. It's really frustrating when you find a nice snooky, like he's not getting out of this, and then he just rolls up on the back of your ball.
Yeah, but
you've got to allow for that before you play the
couldn't really
shot.
roll up on the back of the ball there if you're promoting it near the hole. Now, even if it slips behind it, you can flick off it and then get a cannon on your yellow.
Yeah, true.
JB's just relying on this cannon not working out right now. And if he's got to use two, he's going to have to play one hard shot on the black. The way I see this cannon, you want to take the cushion first, but you want to hit the high side of the yellow. That'll force the red away, the white ball go up the table, and you'll have a shot in the bottom left-hand corner. That's how I see this cannon. Or if you can play it with right-hand side, and catch it full, red goes high, yellow goes low, and you've got a shot on the bottom right corner.
Yeah, in worst case.
That's the only, see, he's caught that low. He's caught that low and not high, and he's landed horrible.
Also, if you hit it square along the table, it pushes the red out of the way, and he had a lot of options. I think the way he's hit that is basically the only way he couldn't.
I'll tell you the advantage he has got, though. You play the promotional double.
Does he snooker?
He's got two shots.
Oh,
Play the promotional double, and then he's going to be on the black.
Yep.
I like it. On these tables, you've got to be feeling good about this black.
Yeah. The only thing that makes this black missable is the hill.
Yeah, pressure. I agree. I would back him to pot this.
Yeah.
But you've got to cue these well, and he's going to be feeling the pump a little bit. So while it looks easy on
the
screen,
back arm?
They're very missable. He's
Controlled it well.
That's a good one. So Tyron King, as I said, a guy probably, well, I certainly didn't know who he was, and I'm going to guess that a lot of people at home don't know who he is. He's now in the quarterfinals. So there's one name that probably isn't well known, and I'm sure there's going to be a couple others as well. I'm not exactly sure who else is in there. But yeah, we'll see some other names that are new to the screen, and it's great for pool.
Might be worth going and have a look at the draw and see who is in the final.
Well, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna go get me jumper because we're sitting right under an aircon vent. It's freezing.
I'll go run over the draw and give everybody a bit of a heads up for who's going to be in it. I think it's going to be redrawn at this stage, so they don't know who is playing who yet. But we do have Alec Everinatis, Chase Daly, Phil Jones, Michael Cassiola, Shannon Purcell, JJ Spink, James Delahunty and Tyron King.